Uh, what's going on, my bariatric family? This your boy Jay for another episode of Bariatric Uncut, where everybody could tell they life journeys about having the bariatric surgery. And in the studio today, we got Mr. Jon Agram. John, welcome to the show, man. Glad to have you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So before we get into it, man, you could tell us your profession, what you do for a living, and the type of surgery you had.
Sure. My name is Jon Agram. I am currently 43 years old. I am a field service electrical engineer. Primarily focus on core diagnostics, which is clinical chemistry and immunoassays. I travel around the country, primarily in the Chicago and Milwaukee land area, and I service Abbott Core Diagnostics analyzers. So that's the easy way of putting it. I can give you the semantics and medical terminology, but it'll
Yeah.
go over your head. You don't want
Yeah, yeah.
that.
I'll probably be drunk by the time you get through explaining it that way.
It's all good, man.
Yeah. So, what type of surgery did you have?
I had gastric bypass surgery in July 15th or on July 15th, 2020.
Okay. And so, what was your high weight and your surgery weight?
My highest known weight was 365. My current weight now is 165, which is also my lowest weight. So I've been maintaining 165 for over 3 years. So
Oh, okay, man. That's great, man. Because we still be fluctuating in between. Even when the years go by, everybody
right,
be fluctuating between that little 10 year gap there. That 10 pound gap. So,
exactly.
so what was your life like before getting the surgery, and what made you just say, "Hey, I gotta go ahead and get this done"?
Sure. So long story short, in October of 2018, um, I was a power lifter, a big bodybuilder, and I before I had a mohawk, as you can see, I had actually had a samurai ponytail, which was about yay long. I mean, I could whip it
Yeah.
around. So if you play video games, if you know, was it Samurai Showdown?
Uh huh.
With Homoru, I had
Yeah.
that hair, so that was my thing. Um, so in October 2018 in Chicago, you never know if it's hot or cold. You never know. I mean, with the way it is. So in the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning, it was really cold. So they blasted the heat in the gym to like 95 degrees. It was like freezing in there because I was one of the first persons in the gym that morning. And it was Thursday they have this happened, and it was my superset day. So I'm like, if you're a bodybuilder, you just put massive amount of weight on your body and you lift,
Uh-huh.
and you do like
Uh-huh.
a maximum of 3 of a set. So what happened was I was doing squats, and I had the bar across my back. I didn't have my wraps on. I didn't have my hair in a bun. I just had let it go. It's like let it flow. What happened was is that the bar landed on my shoulders, my hair wrapped around the bar, pulled my hair back. I broke my C4 through C7 disc, dropped the weight, rolled down my back. The mirror behind me shattered. I fell flat on my face. I was gone. So this is at like my peak 230, right? So being that I work in a hospital at the time, or currently now at the same hospital, the ER is literally like half a block down the street. You could just put me in a chair and they rolled me into the ER. So I was literally bedridden for a week because I couldn't move. I was super duper tense. So they put me in like limited duty. I couldn't do surgeries anymore. I couldn't do any assistance in any of the divisions or departments in the hospital. So I was basically limited to paperwork and whatnot, which was really, really boring. At that time, I'm sitting at a desk like I'm doing right now. I'm eating nonstop because like I can't do anything. I can't power lift. I can't run. I can't play volleyball. I can't play football. I can't wrestle. So those are the 5 things that I usually do.
Yeah.
I went from 230 to 365 in less than a year. I call it my pregnancy weight, if you want to call it that. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
So I literally, if you know anything about medical terminology, atrophy, when your muscles don't get used, you lose function. So I just couldn't do it. I couldn't lift anymore. With that being said, I said, screw it, I am done. But I tried to lift, I tried to do things, I couldn't do it after all physical therapy and said and done. I just couldn't do it anymore. So I called myself a fatty blob. So that was my thing. And they called me sumo, and all my friends like gave me all these derogatory terms. And I just went with it because, that's the way my life goes. So in March of 2020, being that I'm a part of the hospital, people saw that I was really, really big. And they're like, Juan, you need to, because I was wearing a medium size or medium large scrub, and I ballooned to a 5XL scrub, spare pair of scrubs. So my epiphany was during St. Patrick's Day week in 2021, what happened is that there was no 5XL scrubs left in the hospital. There were like 20 sets of like 5XL scrubs. And I wore them all because I'm the biggest guy, and I was the biggest guy in the hospital. And I didn't have any scrubs left. So I had to squeeze into a 4X. There were no 4Xs in the building. So I just squeezed into a 3X. So I'm walking around like Marshmallow Man like this, with boob sweat and dripping and going into surgery. So we're going into a surgery, assisting on the surgery. What happened I'm gonna give you just a very top view of what happens in OR. So in OR, there's called a huddle, or it's called a huddle. Right before the patient's sitting on the table, right, or laying on the table, you say your name and what your position is and what you're doing in the OR. So what happened was, I said, my name is Jon Agram. I am the clinical engineer. I'm here to assist in XYZ surgery and whatnot. And everyone was looking at me like, John, Moha or Sumo, what's going on? Like, you're not your usual self. You're usually chipper at 5 a.m. You usually have your coffee. Everything's going on. I was literally flushed and whatnot. So after 5 minutes after the huddle, I went flat in my face. I was gone. I was like severely dehydrated. I was severely overworked. I just couldn't move. I'm running around the hospital. They threw me out of the OR, assisting in the surgery, and I got run to the PACU, which is where people are placed after surgery.
Yeah.
I slapped my face. I put water on my face. I'm like, John, you need to lose weight. You're dying. So I'm like, okay, I've lost weight before. I'll do this again. So I've lost some weight. I went down to 240 from 365 down to 340. I dieted. I yo-yoed. All of us, or most people, have yo-yoed, and I just yo-yoed. Yep. So ultimately, the bariatric surgeons at Rush University Medical Center said, John, you need to have surgery. I'm like, oh, why? I'm like, you are killing yourself. You are not your same self. You're huffing and puffing. You take forever. You're breathing really hard. We can't understand you. You're like, hi, I'm here. It sucked. So after all said and done, after all the trials, the psychology portion of it, I had surgery in July of 2020, lost all the weight, and here I am currently now at 165. It was a rough journey through all that, but yeah, I'm still the same 165 almost 4 years out. So yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, man, that's a story there, man. So what was your recovery like?
So my recovery after the surgery sucked. Let me tell you why. So being a big guy, what happened is like when you're literally, your body is shaped into a form where like you're molded. I'm hunched over all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So your body is trying to like recoup or go back to your normal state instead of going like this. It wants to go back straight like that, or go straight. So once you lose all the weight, your body tends to, like I said, it tries to go back to normal. But after all that fat and all that the visceral fat and everything leaves and melts away, it shows all the bad things. For example, after I had surgery, I had shoulder bursitis. I've had adhesive capsulitis, which is basically bad shoulders. My spine and my neck are all messed up from all my from playing volleyball, wrestling, football, all that. My knees are all messed up. So, granted, yeah, the weight loss is great, but the side effects people don't really talk about. So, what I'm trying to tell you guys is that yeah, you lost all the weight, but you have to maintain and like you gotta work out. You have to know your body's limitations. I pounded my body into the ground. I'm
Yeah.
a super athletic guy. I traveled across the country and the world, nonstop flying, driving everywhere. And I had done so much abuse to my body that everything just shows now. So just a couple of days ago, or even it was yesterday, I'm sorry. Yesterday I had MRIs on my shoulders and MRIs on my knees, and they're really, really bad. So when they tell you take your medications, your vitamins or whatnot, don't skip out on them. Granted, I'm post surgery and I didn't take care of my body beforehand. I was like eating junk food, McDonald's, Taco Bell, Burger King, KFC, Popeyes, junk food all the time. I never ate healthy. It shows. So my if you're post surgery sleeve RNY switch whatever it is, make sure you take your vitamins. That's number one, and drink a lot. The other problem for me is that granted most men are supposed to have between 60 and 80 maybe up to 100 grams of protein.
Mhm.
I can't eat that. It's people doctors say, most surgeons say don't drink your protein. Yes, that's you're not supposed to because you want the real thing. You want, omega fats from fish, you want chicken, red meat or whatever. As for a gastric bypass person or a sleeve person or even any bariatric surgery patient, it's hard to digest that. So you're
Yeah.
sitting there,
Yeah.
I'm eating a steak and I'm like chewing, and it sucks. About, I want to say, 20% of the time when I do eat a full meal, I mean a full meal, for us is like the small, whatever.
Uh,
I throw it up.
yeah.
It sucks. So if when you throw up, you're supposed to drink water and to maintain fluids. I try to drink a protein shake a day, and protein shakes are expensive. I don't like
Yeah.
making protein shakes because I don't like that chalky
Yeah.
ghost. Bleh. So I
Mhm.
prefer just getting Premier or Premier or even a protein shake from the store, Isopure. Even though those taste like crap, I'll still do those. But in essence, it's just really hard to like for me to gain muscle now. I've been trying to gain muscle for the last 2 years, and I can't do it. I mean, I've eaten and drank at least for a week. I tried a 1 week a stint with my body of eating 200 grams of protein a day. Still nothing. I'm still at
Right.
165. It sucks. Like I said, everyone's journey is different, but this is my journey. So yeah.
Okay, so you're saying that you still stuck at 165, but you just want you want to stay at 165 and just muscle up, or
Yes.
did you?
So my doctors wanted me to stay around like 170, to 170 to 190 to maintain my muscle mass, but I can't. I was at 180. I stalled for 2 weeks, and boom, I dropped down to 165. So,
Gotcha.
and I like I said, I'm trying to eat everything, drink everything just to gain weight. It sucks. It sucks.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm happy being 165. I don't know about your situation, but I'm always cold. Even though on a really hot day, I'm wearing a sweater, I'm wearing a hoodie, I'm wearing a hat. So I'm happy with that. Mm.
Hey, look, I could kind of relate to the deal about being cold now because the weather down here has been pretty rough,
Right.
but a couple of days like over there in the office where I be at,
Hmm.
even if it be pretty warm.
Right.
I'm still feeling cold. I got to turn the heater on now. Whereas, you know, 3, 4 years ago when I was 415, I
Right.
could walk out. I could walk out in the wintertime with a short
With
sleeve
a shirt,
shirt on.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I have a foot heater on right now. I'm using my desk right now to keep my feet warm. So there you go. So
yeah, yeah, and plus, to reiterate about what you were saying, for as about the eating food, trying to chew your proteins. I kind of had that same issue too, because I figured out that I really can't eat a lot of chicken breast. Like even cutting it up into small pieces, it would get stuck, and I would start getting dumping syndrome from it. And then, and no matter what they say, it is hard to chew that food for 1 minute.
it's hard to chew.
Yeah.
And even like, okay, for example, let's say you get a nice, I hate using this word, moist, juicy steak, right?
Hmm.
And you like a filet mignon, like 6 ounce, right? And you have 2 bites and you're done. You take it home, you put it in the fridge, you wait, open it the next morning. I'm gonna like eat it for breakfast. It's dry, it's cold. It's like can't eat it. It's like
Right.
leather. Like so, I wasted all that money. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And with me, and another thing that I realized, some of the stuff that I could tolerate, I can't, and vice versa. Just like I used to love chicken salad. Now I really can't handle it because since I had this too, it's too wet. I can't handle the wetness now.
like noodles, soup. It sucks. Being an Asian guy, like I love noodles, but I'll have like 2 strands of noodles and I'm like, I'm done. Then like 3 minutes later, I'll throw it up. I'm like, this sucks. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, what I call the honeymoon phase when you lose all the weight. Yeah, I'm losing all this weight, but after you bottomed out at the 2 year mark and food afterwards, it's like I don't want to go out and eat with my friends or my family. I rather just like eat junk food, which for me personally, I can eat junk food and it just goes in and out of me, no problem. I gain no weight.
Mhm.
So, but it's those small portions of food that fill me up so quickly. Like a Lunchable is like a perfect meal for me.
Yeah.
It's like perfect. I'm like, oh, it's like $1.59. Just grab it off the shelf, done. I eat it, and I'm like, I'm happy for that couple of hours. But I sit down at like a McDonald's or a Burger King with my friends or my husband or whatever. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why am I here? And I'm seeing them, I'm watching them eat. I'm like, God, why? I'm like, can I just have one fry? Or like, if we're at a restaurant, can I just lick your plate? All I need is that taste, and I'm happy.
Right.
So,
And once again, I can relate to that too because see, I have been making better food choices, but it was like initially in that beginning, we gotta get it into our minds that because at first we could go to McDonald's, Burger King, and get whatever, but now we can't go to Popeyes and order that 2 piece. We
yep,
can't go to Burger King and order that Whopper. Now we got to be mindful of what we
right.
get now. Yeah.
Like for
It's,
example, talking about Popeyes, like okay, like I'm a fried chicken fanatic, right? We have like churches, we got Popeyes, we got KFC, we got all these Harold's Chicken here in Chicago. I will eat. I'll get a 3 piece or whatever. I'm a dark meat only guy because white meat is like dries out like quick. I will rip
mhm.
the skin off, eat 1 piece of the chicken, and call it a day. 3 hours later, I'll have another piece. I'll just spread the whole meal throughout the day. For McDonald's, I will take I won't get like a Big Mac or whatever. I'll just get like a cheeseburger or like a double, a McDouble. Rip the buns off and make a meat patty with the cheese and the stuff in the middle, and that's it. I mean, that's all I need to be happy. Or if you have the McDonald's app, you get like you get buy one get one or buy one 29 cents for the chicken McNuggets. So I get 12 chicken McNuggets for like 2.50, and I'm
Yeah.
happy. So I'm like, okay, deal. So I mean, we just have to like think like, okay, in realization, I can I eat this? Will I eat this for the whole day? Will it cover me for tomorrow? So yeah, I have like when I went to dinner yesterday with my family yesterday, I'm like, they had steak or whatever. I'm like, I just had like 3 meatballs. I'm like, this big. I'm like, I'm done. Can I go
Yeah.
home now? I'm like, why am I here? I'm like, yeah, it sucks. So I get it.
Yeah. And one of the little the tricks that I had learned, like when I go to Popeyes and I order the tenders, I just tell them just drop the tenders as they are in the grease. Like no
Yeah.
no flour, no batter, just
Yep.
drop it like it
Naked.
is, and
Yep.
and it's foreign to them. You know, some of them just don't get it.
Don't
They
do it, and they don't get it. Yeah.
yeah
Or
yeah
I'm scraping it. I'm like scraping it. People think I'm like, that's the best part, guys. I'm like, no, take the Cajun sprinkles and just put it on there. It's the same exact thing. You're fine.
yeah.
You don't need that breading. So yeah, it's all good. Totally get it. Totally
Yeah.
get it.
So and so you were saying that you was powerlifting. Did you can you go into detail about that? Did you set any records?
No, I basically being that I'm an avid athlete, I used to run a lot and I play volleyball. So all my strength is in my shoulders and my back when I swing, right? So I could literally at the most I've benched before bench pressed was like 400, but I needed that strength because I'm a setter. I don't know if you think about volleyball. There's a setter, which is like basically the quarterback of a team.
Yeah,
That I set the ball. I'm not a big hitter because I'm a short guy. I'm 5'7", but I needed that power to push that ball or push the volleyball far, far away. For these tall people, like most of my friends who play are like 6'3" and taller. So a 5'7" guy pushing out a ball that far, like a shot put, is you need that power behind me. So I had really massive arms and chest. Um,
right.
but yeah, I didn't set any records or anything, but I power lifted just to get that keep my strength going. So yeah.
Oh, okay,
Mhm.
okay, cool. Yeah, and I'm having the same issue with my shoulders.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I can relate to that. And it's just because I got a torn rotator cuff. So,
Mhm.
I will go out there, I will lift weights, but I'm real limited on it. I'm trying to keep it as light as possible. So far
Right.
as exercise go, my saving grace been walking in a treadmill.
Right.
A
Yeah.
lot of people say,
Go ahead.
yeah,
Go ahead.
go ahead. Yeah, because a lot of people, they will say that, oh, go ahead, hit some light weights, and which in essence it is true, but everybody has a different situation.
Right.
So, right now the only option that I have is the treadmill and the elliptical and walking around the block.
Right. Like for
Yeah,
me, I'm like I said earlier, I can't lift more than 30 pounds over my, or sorry, 60 pounds on over my shoulders. Um, it sucks. Like for us, like I know you were saying you were 415, your neckline comes in, your shoulder blades come through, so you see your scapula and your clavicle, but you lose a lot when you start losing weight and the fat. It starts from your neck down. So like, yeah, when I see guys post on other Facebook groups, oh, I can see my shoulder blades. I can see some like, yeah, you're gonna have shoulder problems later. Trust me. And they didn't believe me, and here we are. You got shoulder problems. Like, yep. So,
yeah,
because most guys who are big, they don't work out. Therefore, they have no muscle strength in their shoulders. And like I said before, once you lose all the weight, everything just comes out. So yeah.
yeah. And see, you just broke that down for me because I really didn't think about it in that essence. Everything that's been wrong, which is about to come to light after you have the surgery, after everything is being shedded.
Yeah, no one talks about that. Everyone's like, yeah, I lost weight. Everyone's concerned about the number, but they're not concerned about the aftermath of like, oh, when you get to this number, what happens after? So yeah, you hear everyone's success story. I lost 200 pounds. I lost
Yeah,
150 pounds, but they don't talk about your health issues after the fact. Other than eat your protein, eat your or do your vitamins, have your water. But that's just standard. But they don't tell you what my story is, or XYZ person's story, or even your story is.
yeah,
Everyone's story is different, but as you can see, like I said, you can relate now. Once you lose all the weight, you're like, oh, this makes sense. I lost all my fatty shoulder or whatever. Now I'll show you my joints are popping. I gotta take more calcium. I gotta do this. Like, yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and and that's one of them situations where you have to be more proactive than reactive. It's like
Exactly.
yeah, and get in that mind frame before you get in. While you losing the weight, you still have to be in that mind frame for when the honeymoon phase is over with.
Exactly.
Yeah. So do you take in the vitamins? Do you take in the calcium
Yes,
pills or
I do. So I take a bariatric multivitamin, biotin, and B12 for my hair and my nails. I've been very blessed. I have good genes that I don't have to take it, but I have a mohawk and it's my signature thing, so
yeah,
I take it anyway. So I did not take biotin and B12 for a week, and I noticed it right away. My hair started falling out. So I'm kind of lucky, I still have hair on my head. Most people, most guys who have bariatric surgery lose their hair, and they don't talk about women. Women for sure definitely do. There's like horror stories. People like they're combing their hair, they clump out or whatever. But I was in the same position, so I took B12 and biotin, and it works. So I also take calcium because my bone issue, whatever. Um, Iron because I'm Asian. Because also for I don't know about you because you're African American.
yeah.
You know, we have a red cell deficiency, so I have to take that as well. And biotin, B12, calcium, yeah, and that's it. 5. That's it. Yeah. So
Okay. So you're not on the borderline of being sickle cell or
no, no,
anything,
no,
huh?
no, 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 no. It's just that
Okay.
it's like it's just I need to because like I can't eat meat. I can't. I
Yeah.
love eating meat, but it's like we can't get enough, and my body can't ingest it or take it and absorb it. Remember,
Right.
we don't have absorption anymore, so we have to get iron and other essential nutrients and vitamins through pills. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Other means. Yeah. So besides that, like how did how was your life at the job? When you started to lose the weight.
Okay, so when I was bigger, like I said, I was huffing and puffing through a hospital. Rush University and Medical Center covers 4 blocks. So talking about walking a mile, like a mile every hour just to run through the ER to the OR to go up here to go down here. It's all over the place. So my life was so much better. I wasn't sweating anymore. Um, everything was great. I didn't have to struggle anymore. I'm like people would page me like, can you get here in 5 minutes and before, and they're like, oh, I'll get there in 10 because I'm really slow right now, but I can get there really really fast now, so I'm good. So lifestyle changes great, work changes great. You're gonna hear this story too from other guys. I had my own seatbelt extender when I flew, and I could only fly first class because I was so big. Now that I'm like, okay, I could sit in the cheapest economy plus seat and I'm fine. I can cross my legs, and everyone's shows their pictures like I can cross my legs. I don't need a seatbelt extender. So I mean, that was a non-scale victory for me. So other than that, it's just I feel so normal. And people tell me like, "How old are you?" I'm like, "I'm 43." I'm like, "You don't look your age." I'm like, "Before you, when you were bigger, you looked like you were in your 50s." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm 43 now." People think I'm in my 30s now. Some people think I'm still an intern or a student. And I'm like, cool. So, yeah, I'm like, I was a student. Cool. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll take that. Yeah, because
Mhm.
I remember I had the some place that I was at. It was I had to go handle my insurance, and I had to show him my ID.
Uh-huh.
And she looked at the ID. She looked at me. She said, "Huh? I guess you 42."
Yeah. They're like,
Yeah.
okay, I look good.
Hey. Okay. Yeah. I'll
Like,
take that.
I get carded at the liquor store or even try to buy a pack of cigarettes. They're like, are you really 43? I'm like, 1980 guys. I'm like, holy shit, you are. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. I'm
Yeah.
like,
We the 80s babies. 80s
I'll
babies
take
the
it.
best.
I'll
See,
take
baby.
it. I'm like, you think I'm like younger than 18, 21, I'm good to go. I'm like, fine, I'm cool. I'm good with that.
Yeah. So so what do you have any hobbies now?
Okay, so people talk about transfer addictions, food, right? So
Yeah.
my big transfer addiction is Lego. So you can't see it from my office, but like I have a full Lego collection. My Lego collection's worth over $100,000. So yeah, it's pretty bad. It's a pretty bad transfer addiction. And video games are my other addiction. So I transferred all of my food woes and shame eating in the corner. So I spent all that money, transferred all that money that I invested in food into video games and Lego. So, but I mean, it's for me, it's cool because I'm not eating and not gaining weight. But how long are you been out of your surgery?
42. Yeah, I'm 9 months out.
Okay, so
yeah, because mine was in May.
Okay, so if at the 1 year mark, look at your bank statements, right? Seriously, look at your bank statements and see how much you spent at fast food restaurants. I don't know who your bank is, but sometimes they categorize what your food, whatever is. I'm like, from July 2020 to December of 2020, there was like an 85% decrease in my food spending.
Wow.
And I switched it all over to Lego and video games. I'm like, okay, cool. So in 2021, I'm like, my spending was less. I spent less than $2,000 in food in 2021.
Yeah.
Other than on the restaurants. But I would go. When I was bigger, I could spend $300, $400 a month on food alone at the grocery store. Now I'm like $100 a month because I can't eat that. So I'm like, I'll just take a Lunchable and a bottle of water and I'm set.
Yeah, you right about that, man. Because because I said this before in a couple of the other interviews that I had my days where I forgot to eat.
Mm-hmm.
I would have that protein shake in the morning, go about my day doing whatever I need to do, and they'll ask me, "Hey, how was lunch? Lunch was I forgot to eat lunch. Let me go grab something real quick."
I mean, my stomach does grumble, and I just grab a water and I'm set. I'm fine. Just add some meal or some Crystal Light to it. I'm fine. But I don't get hunger pangs anymore. I just know my mechanics. You just know your body. Okay, I need to eat something, or I can survive for a couple of hours or whatever. You just know.
Right. Mm-hmm. So look, and here's another thing. By you working in the hospital, and I've noticed this too.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had any patients that came in that needed something to be done there, but it just so happened they was bariatric patients and some of your coworkers really not knowledgeable about it?
Yeah. I've had patients come up to me so at Rush University Medical Center, I am the poster child of the guys because, as you know, many guys don't have the surgery or they don't talk about it or they're not displayed, to show advertising. But my face is all over these hospitals, so they see me around. They're like, "Wow, you've lost all that weight." I'm like, "Yeah, you kept it off." I'm like, "Yeah, okay." But when I talk to women about their journey, I don't know if you're gonna have skin removal surgery. So I also had that too. Okay. So I had 5 pounds of skin taken off my stomach. So I call it my C-section. So I talk to women. I'm like, if you've had children and had a C-section, I feel your pain because I got the scar. So I get it. So yeah, so I can relate with what women had. And, oh, you don't understand and I lift up my shirt. I had a C-section. I get it. I lost 5 pounds of skin off my stomach. So sit down and don't tell me I know what you're talking about. I feel your pain. It's like my stomach is numb. I can't even touch, they poke it. I'm like, I can't, I just feel a dull sensation. There's no sensation there. Oh, I get it. Oh, you understand me. I'm like, I get it, guys.
So look, so let's get into that, man. How was what was the process of the skin removal? Did the insurance cover it?
Yes. So I had to appeal it twice. And what happened, talking about my shoulders, neck, back, and spine and knees, they didn't want to approve it because they thought it was cosmetic. But the doctors saw that it was affecting me because I'm still hunched over, right? So after my second appeal, they approved it. And let me tell you about my paniculectomy. It was bad. So I had my paniculectomy in December of 2022, right? 3 days after Christmas, I had surgery, no problem, right? 3 days later, I had they're called a jade rain onto the side where they suck all that crap out, right? And you wear it for 2 weeks or whatever. So a typical drainage, you should lose about 300 cc's a day. I was draining 300 every hour. So it was really bad. It was terrible. So this is the height of COVID, I might add. So went back in. What was it? December 28th. I got home the 30th. Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, went back in. I literally coded blue on the main floor of the hospital. Everyone knows me, so they're like, "What the hell is going on with?" Now they called me Mohawk. They're what? Where's with Mohawk? I'm like, "What's going on?" So they admitted me. They fixed I had some issue or whatever. I was just straight. It wasn't healing right, so I was literally in the hospital from December 28th to January, I think it was 14th. It sucked. It sucked. Like, because you have two drains. I don't know if you're a side sleeper. I couldn't sleep on my side. I just sleep like in a chair, like I'm doing right now, with a pillow. And I want to lay over, and you like these drains are in the way, so all the blankets and comforter and the duvet are like all tangled in it, and it's pulling at you, and it sucked. So, but all in all, after that whole ordeal, and after they pulled it out in the two drains in mid-January, it was about Valentine's Day where everything was all healed. And it's all cool. But if you're an active person, if they say don't move around a lot after you've had skin surgery, listen to your doctor and surgeon. Don't do, because I think what happened was, what I did was I dropped something on the floor, and not knowing or just not thinking about it, I went on the floor and I ripped something. So that's what I think what happened to me. So
Yeah, you're right about that, man. Because thank goodness nothing bad had happened to me after. But I remember the week that I had my surgery. I came home. I had it that Tuesday. Came home that Thursday. Saturday, I had a situation where I had to drive, and I had to go to my house, and it was raining real hard that day, and I had got started. I had gotten hit by this heard this loud clap of thunder,
right.
And I hit the ground because I was on the floor. I mean,
Right.
I was on the bed, and when I heard the thunder clap, it was so loud it started me. I hit the floor and I fell on my stomach.
Oof.
Yeah.
Mm.
And so, I had to tell the doctor, but thank goodness that
Yeah,
nothing happened. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
totally get it. But like
Yeah.
I said, after said and done, would I go through bariatric surgery again and skin surgery? And I'll talk about something else about that later. I would do it
Yeah.
again. I would get a second revision on skin surgery, but my insurance, which I really have good insurance anyway, it's still cosmetic, so it would cost me 17 grand out of pocket. Would I go to Mexico to do it? I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm like, I mean, will I take off my shirt if I go to the beach or a pool? Yeah. I'm like, I'm not trying to impress anyone, so I'm like, whatever. I don't even care. I mean, a lot of people have the issue with body dysmorphia, and like, I don't look good naked, or I don't look good on a shirt on. I'm like, I just accept it. I'm like, whatever. I'm happy. I mean, if I was younger and single, yes, I would be concerned. But I'm married. I have my husband. I've been with my husband for 20 years.
Yeah.
I don't care anymore. So yeah. But I would love to get the surgery or get more surgery. All I really need is just like, cut the chicken wing a little bit here and
Yeah,
a little bit under my thighs. And granted, we were both big guys. Like my chest is low, and I want to bring it up like 3 inches, but
yeah.
I don't need all that. I'm happy. I'm happy.
Okay.
I'm more concerned about I'm more concerned about my neck, shoulders, back, and spine, and my knees. I'm not worried about the outside skin portion. I'm not really worried about that.
Okay. So how have y'all relationship been?
Oh God. When we first started dating, we were both skinny and everything was cool. Then you get into a relationship and you gain weight together. When I had gastric bypass, he gained at least 50 pounds because I'm like, here's food, eat it. I can't eat it. So there's been times or many times where I come home, I bring food from like where I'm traveling, put it in the fridge. I go to bed. I'm like, I'm going to bed. I'm tired. Right. The next morning, I try to find something to eat in my fridge, my leftovers. He eats it. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. I mean, do I get mad? Not really, but it's just it is what it is. Like your significant other will gain weight because you're not eating. They take the grunt of the food that you can't eat.
Yeah, because right about now, when we was overweight, yeah, if somebody did eat our leftovers, it'll be a fight. But it's like now, if we don't get it, we don't miss it.
I'm like, okay, it's dry chicken breast in the fridge. Okay, whatever, eat it. I don't care. Or good thing I have a dog, and I'll just give it to my dog. I'm like, here, eat it. He don't care, so I'm happy with that too. I'm like, I have a garbage disposal right now, so here you go, eat it, go for it.
Yeah,
He don't care, so there you go. Hmm.
yeah. So now as far as the deal with your spine and your neck,
Yeah.
uh, you don't have to have surgery on that, do you? Okay.
I just like I said, I just had MRIs on my shoulders. So I will know in the next week or in the next week I'll know if I'm going to get shoulder surgery. But
Okay.
yeah, I was cleared to get knee surgery, but talking about knees real quick. I'm 43. If I get knee replacements at 43, I'm going to get them at before I'm 70. So there is no reason to get them now. They did injections. They don't want to put gel in my knees because I still play and I'm still active or whatever.
Yeah.
So they tried cortisone shots in my knees. Didn't work. It worked for like 2 days, and then the third day I'm like, this hurts. This sucks. So I just managed through it. And for us gastric bypass people, we can't take NSAIDs. So I'm downing like ibuprofen, or sorry, acetaminophen all the time. So, and I got pretty good drugs like tramadol and cyclobenzene. So
Yeah.
I'm good. I function normally.
All
So
right. So look.
yeah,
Okay. So look. So tell me this.
yeah.
Now, what all medicines do you know that a bypass patient can take and can't take?
So there's a huge list. We cannot take Tylenol. NSAIDs. If you just Google NSAIDs, NSIDE or NSIDS, it just gives you a list. Don't take them. I did take Tylenol once, and I gagged, and it hurt like hell, and I dumped it. I don't know why I dumped, but I dumped afterwards. So some people don't listen, like, don't drink from a straw, don't drink pop or soda or wherever you're from. I still drink pop, it's a drink, whatever. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't expand your stomach. It's just, don't believe all the lies that are on the internet.
Yeah.
It is
But it
everything
do
in
leave that
moderation.
air.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything in moderation. So yeah.
Yeah. It do leave that little air though.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, I had a couple of times where I had a little Dr. Pepper, man. I just felt it. Oof. But
Right.
like I said, it don't expand it. But on the flip side, I had the liquid Tylenol. When I came out, my doctor had said they
Yeah.
had the liquid Tylenol, and what I would do, and I said this before, I had a couple of situations where I had to get a prescription, and instead of telling the people at the hospital, hey, that I had this type of surgery, I just take the prescription, take it to my surgeon. Now,
No,
hey, can I take this? And they'll look at it. Okay, yeah, you could take this, or you could take that, or if it was a particular medicine I had to take twice a day, they
right,
said, nah, don't take it twice a day. Take it once every other day.
right,
So it is a lot of restrictions, that we have to be mindful of,
right, exactly.
and yeah, and plus I feel like, some a lot of people still not being receptive to bariatrics because I was saying that, number one, like personal trainers, some of them not receptive to it, some of them just started opening up to it because they
Right,
realized, you know, some of the meal plans that they give, it's not going to work for us like it is a regular person. And then
exactly.
plus going to the restaurants. I I may be overthinking it, but sometimes I feel like they ought to have a little bariatric menu. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because it's like certain stuff we can't eat. But I
yeah,
mean we can still order off that regular menu, but I mean we can only eat what we can, and just put the
waste,
rest up. But
waste. Yeah. So I mean,
yeah,
even when I go to restaurants, I'm like, I tend to look at the menu in advance,
yeah,
always. And if I'm like, okay, cool. If I can't eat anything, I'll just have one alcoholic beverage and I'm full. And
yeah,
I'll excuse myself. I'll get drunk really quick, and I'm like, then they know I'm done. So yeah. Or let's say I'm going to dinner with my friends, and there's nothing on the menu I would eat. I would totally not eat anything all day. Have that one alcoholic beverage, then cap out. Then I get drunk. Then I get sobered up. Then I leave. Then I go to McDonald's, get a chicken McNugget, and I'm good. So yeah, there's ways you find you get creative to figure out how to deal with family and friends and coworkers when you in eating situations. And like, do I drink to get drunk real quick, then get out of it, drink a coffee, then I'll be good to go, right? But
yeah,
so yeah, you gotta play the game with friends who, especially most of my friends are big people. So yeah, that's another story. But
yeah,
yeah, I play the game so that I know that I can't eat with them because they're gonna just shove food in their face, and I can't see that anymore. Like there's a couple of examples where like okay, so I'd go to a buffet once with a friend or
right,
some company, and I'm seeing this person not fat shaming people, but there's this one heavy set guy just stuffing his face, and I'm like, that was me 4 years ago.
right.
I can't do that now. And like I'm having like PTSD flashbacks. I'm like, I remember just sitting there eating all the prime rib and chicken and rice and apple cobbler from the buffet. And I'm like, now I'm like, I can't even look at them. Like, I can't even see that. I'm like, I'm good. I'm ready
You
to go.
sure? Yeah, you sure right, man. I can relate, man, because just like take for instance, like over this past Christmas holiday, Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Hmm.
I was telling some of my family, some of my family knew, what I had going on,
Right.
and there was a couple of them still wanted to give me that full plate. I'm
Hmm.
like, I said,
Good.
yeah, oh, and 3 or 4 bites, man, and that was a wrap. And I'm like, I was telling y'all I really didn't need that full plate,
Right?
but
Yeah.
you
I
know,
just drink. I drink to get drunk, and then they know I can't eat anything. So that works for me. So
yeah,
'cause
and
I don't know about you, alcohol just we get drunk so fast. So
yeah,
like yep, I'll have a shot of whiskey or whatever. I'll have like a rum and coke or a rum and diet. I'll be drunk in 5 minutes. I'm like, I'm good. I don't need
yeah,
anything. I'm full. I'm gonna have this drunk stupor right now. You guys eat. I'm cool. I'm sitting there. I'm like knocked out. Stop. I'm good. I'm like he's done. I'm like cool. And
yeah,
that's how I bypass my family and friends from eating.
yeah. And so, with me, like some of the health issues that I was having, it was coming in the beginning. Like,
Right.
granted, like even when I was at my biggest,
Uh huh.
you know, I was still taking my vitamins, eating my little vegetables and stuff. And then, with the health problems I was having, I have to say now that I had this, I'm still glad that I had this surgery
Right.
because dealing with the health problems is more bearable than having to deal with it when I had all that weight.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Totally.
yeah. So like, if you was to like you say, you would do it all over again, but would you do the bypass or would you do one of the other
I
ones, like
would
the
I
sleeve?
would stay with the bypass. I really thought I was gonna get the switch because I just
Yeah,
wanted out because I heard it I hurt so much, but I'm glad I stuck with the bypass. If I got a sleeve, I wouldn't have been happy. I would have been like, I want a revision, I want bypass. So I'm happy I got
yeah,
the bypass. Mm.
yeah. So anything you got planned to
For
go like for as hobbies or any goals that
I'm personally I have no other goals. I'm at Bariatric Pal and Bariatric, whatever those fitness, whatever thing. I'm like, I put my numbers in. I'm like, I'm done. I'm like, okay. I have no other real goals other than just maintaining, which
yeah,
I don't think that's going to be a problem for me because I've maintained 165 to 170 for the last year and a half. So
yeah,
if I gain muscle, I would be happy, but it doesn't bother me. So I got nothing, no other goals. I just wish other people listen to their doctors, listen to their bodies, listen to their friends and family, and take what our stories are and put that in their mind and like thinking, okay, this is what John did, this is what you did, this is what he does, or what and apply it to their lives. Like for example, the whole thing, get drunk real quick so you don't have to eat with your family, or excuse yourself from something, so you make a lie so you don't have to see your friends or whatever. You just got to play the game. That's all.
yeah. All right, yeah. So anything that you wanna, any words of advice you want to tell our listeners and viewers?
If you have any questions or concerns about your journey and you need someone to talk to about it, we're always here to help.
Yeah.
I know there is a huge network out there, but not many people talk about it because people are like not shy or very shy about it. But
Uh-huh.
I'm here. Take your protein or eat your protein. Drink your fluids. Exercise a little bit, and if you have any issues, always reach out to your friends and family and your bariatric buddies. That's all you have to do. Mhm.
All right, and that wraps it up, man. Jon Ingram, I'm glad you was able to come on the show, and
Well,
to my listeners and viewers, I'll see you in the next episode.
have a good one, guys. Talk to you guys
All right.
later.